you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Hi, well, look, two Irishmen just talking about the movies.
Ha! I saw the name Bannon. I thought that's definitely first or second generation Irish.
That is, my grandfather came here from Ireland, and I carry the Bannon name and the blonde hair and the blue eyes that go with it. That go with it. So,
Exactly. We're all like that here.
but I don't drink, so I ruined that stereotype. But don't tell any of my ancestors out there in Ireland, because I know we're a good time.
The thing you've just got to curse like a sailor. Then, if you're not going to drink, you've just got to more foul language. If people are going to believe that you're Irish.
Well, Terry, I'm from New Jersey, so I've got that covered. We got the foul language covered. Congratulations, The Last Rifleman is coming out. Everybody, The Last Rifleman comes out November 8th. It's going to be on demand. It's going to be in theaters. How did you get into this project? How did this project find you?
Well, it did find me, luckily. It was a local producer who'd been developing the script with a local writer. And I didn't know the writer before. I knew the producers from way back. And luckily, one of them had seen the film I did back in 2004 called Mickey Bo and Me, my first feature. And knowing that film, he read the script and said, maybe Terry's the guy to direct this. So they sent it to me. I read it and it brought me to tears. And I read it again and the same thing happened. And I thought it was such a beautiful story. It had such character and personality and humor, and everything that you want in a script was there. Apart from trying to cast a 92-year-old, 92 and 3/4 year old actor to play the character is a challenge. But I suppose we were lucky enough. I sent the script to Pierce because since he'd seen my film way back then, we'd been trying to find a project to work on together. So this was the one that we got over the line. Thank the movie gods. And when I sent it to Pierce, he phoned me up a couple of days later and said, yeah, I'm in, let's do this. And that was the wind in the sails to get the film made.
Terry, firstly, you just call him Pierce, like just that's my buddy, Pierce. Secondly, you he plays a 92-year-old. Look, Mrs. Doubtfire was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. So what so for Pierce, who he's James Bond, he is an icon, he's a movie star's movie star. What
Yeah,
was it
he
like
is.
to get him ready, to put on the prosthetics, to put on the makeup, to put on and to see him transform into this 92-year-old character?
Well, the great thing was I didn't see much transformation because he was in the makeup truck when I arrived each day. So the first time I encountered him, every day he stepped out and he was Artie. He was 92. He was that guy. And he had his walking stick, the walking stick that Pierce himself found in a small antique shop near where we were filming. He's going, this is the stick for me. And it's part of his character. So the transformation, we rarely saw Pierce as Pierce. So whenever during the shoot, when we did see Pierce, it was through his Instagram feed because he was having a great time saying hello to all the restaurants nearby. And and we kept saying to him, Pierce, this is in the height of COVID. We kept saying, Pierce, please stay at home, don't get sick. And he would have his arm around this chef, and he'd have his arm around this maitre d, and he never got sick. The man is bulletproof. Maybe it is the Bond thing that he's sailed through. He was a joy.
Well, this film is based on a true story. It's about Artie Crawford, who was a World War II veteran living in a care home in Ireland, and he lost his wife. And on the 75th anniversary of D-Day, he decides to escape and embark on a journey. It's got to be emotional. It's got to be what a story that it's. How did the writer find this story and write the screenplay?
Well, the guy, it's wonderful. Kevin Fitzpatrick, it's his first feature screenplay. He saw a news item when the story of the veteran who left his home and went to Normandy. He watched a documentary called "We Fought on D-Day," which is available on YouTube if people want to see it. And he combined the two. He combined some of the characters' stories from that documentary with the story that he'd seen on the news, and he put the two together. And his love of Ireland, creating a road movie that goes from the top of Ireland all the way down over to France was. He put all his personal experience, even the scene that's described where Artie meets Ennio Morricone. That was one of Kevin's experiences a number of years back. He met Morricone in Italy, and he thought, right, he cleverly wove it into our story. So there's artistic licenses taken there, And some of the characters in the home are created, and especially to give us that kind of warm comic Irishness that the story needs. And a lot of the comedy, of course, comes from Artie as well, and from how Pierce plays him. There's my favorite line almost in the whole film is whenever somebody says, you've got to eat stuff, you're old. And he says, I had a banana. And that line just, I had a banana, and he just throws it away. But it just makes me laugh every time. So yeah, we were lucky to all that truth and research to put into a story that then comes to life through those performances it's a privilege, and it's also a risky process, but it's great when it works.
Absolutely. Well, it works. And now you have a release. You're going to have a video on demand release. You're going to have it in theater. Go see this film in theaters, people. If it's playing in a theater near you, you got to go see it in the way that films are meant to be. So what can you say about the rest of this cast? I mean, you have some pretty great artists and actors in this movie.
If Pierce was the only wonderful actor, I would have been happy, because the rest of the characters we could build. But we got Jürgen Prochnow, one of Germany's finest, giving the most subtle and beautiful performance. We've got John Amos in his last film role, again breaking our heart. Hopefully, I mean he arrived, and watching him and Pierce working together was just the most beautiful thing. And I know that they had a real connection. We had Clémence Poésy. The wonderful thing again for her, she knew none of these characters were playing the lead. They were with us for a few days, but they all connected. She had an aunt a great aunt who had been involved in the French Resistance. So whenever she saw this story, she went, right, I want to be part of that. So people connected with it. It was a joy, and I think they wanted to act with Pierce as well. It's great when you get somebody of that stature. He's a bit of a magnet to get other people on board. And then we surrounded him with lots of great Irish talent and some European talent to make sure that every character along the journey was authentic. So, and with a great script, it's that bit easier to get those wonderful performances.
Well, I know that this cast is bananas. John Amos, I mean, we grew up watching. If it's Good Times, if it's Coming to America, I mean, and to lose him, and now he's on film and immortalized with Pierce and the rest of this cast is amazing. I was joking, not joking, but my Irish heritage. I've never been to Ireland, so you shot this film in Ireland?
We shot, yep, a lot of it in the north, and then we went down to Dublin for those scenes in the railway station to make sure it was authentic. And then we did our final section in France. We knew we had to go to the right cemetery where that regiment of soldiers, where they're buried. We had to make sure that that was authentic. We couldn't fake that in Ireland. We wanted to make sure. And the light, the light in France and the warmth, all of that was, it was worth the trip. And it was a very, very somber couple of days filming.
Sure.
In the world where all those veterans, where they died. Yeah, it was a joy. But the bits of Ireland you see are, the interiors could be anywhere, I suppose, but the Irish characters and the Irish landscape does feature, and that little bit of Dublin along the way. I'm very pleased that it's a fresh story from Ireland, which is good.
Yeah, well, Terry, the United States is crazy. So I may be in Ireland. I may be bunking up in your living room if things keep going the way they're going here.
As long as you get some whiskey in the duty free, you're very welcome.
Oh, that I got you covered. That's it. I could do that. I could do that. So we could support, this Samuel Goldwyn, and the movies that have come out of the people that are distributing this movie are legendary. They've been around forever. They have some of the greatest films that they've ever made. How is it that films nowadays, there's so much independent filmmaking, there's so many videos on demand, people putting movies, they instantly go on streaming or etc. What's it mean to be able to have a theater release? What's it mean to have a company that has put out some of the best to support this film that you've worked on?
Well, it is a joy. I mean, I'm lucky that this year has been a good year for me, because another film that I produced and co-wrote, In the Land of Saints and Sinners, Samuel Goldwyn put that out earlier when we had Liam Neeson and Ciarán Hinds and Kerry Condon, and they did a wonderful job putting that out into the world. And yeah, for me, it's great knowing the Goldwyn name from all the books I've read and the research I've done over the years. It means so much sitting in a room with 500 other people for the moments whenever your breath is taken away, or if there's a laugh to be shared. It is that magical thing, and I'll still fight for that forever. And of course, COVID put a dent in all of our viewing experiences, but it's really important to get back out there. There is no substitute. Watching stuff at home where you can pause it to make a cup of coffee, or to check your phone, that's just nonsense. You got to just give yourself over for the 90 minutes, 100 minutes, and immerse yourself. And that, if the film is good enough, then you will not regret it.
Well, look, what I've learned so far talking to you is we're all going to go see this film starting on November 8th. Secondly, we're all going to go to Ireland because we should all go because it sounds beautiful and I love green and I'm here
It's
for
great.
it. And lastly, if you've made a film with Pierce Brosnan and you made a film with Liam Neeson, then the next star that you're going to make a film with has to be me because we are the three manliest. I'm just
I was
saying.
gonna say, Robert, I was gonna point that out, but I didn't feel it was maybe appropriate. But now that you've brought it up, yeah,
I think when you think of butchy movie stars that are real men, you think Liam, Pierce, Robert Bannon.
the whole world thinks that. Yeah,
Thank
all
you.
the time.
See?
Well, no, I mean, be honest. I only went to Pierce because you weren't available, Robert. Now
And I'm offer only. I'm not sending a tape. I'm not. Well, we're so excited for this. We love original works. We love things that are based on true stories. And also, everybody, we need to support people who have served in war, our veterans, people that have gone out here and honor them in their life. And we forget so quickly in this country and around the world the people that have fought for our freedoms and who we are. So thank you for making this, and thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Robert. An absolute privilege. Thank you.
Back at you. Congratulations.
Take care.